And three, two, one. Welcome back, all. This is Aluminum Terra. Thanks so much for joining, as always. We're going to be ringing in the new year with a new series of readings for January 2025, and we're going to go over to the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going to take place in your month, ringing it, starting in the new year, and what we can expect. Hopefully, there will be some good things to help us move 2025 in the opposite direction of 2024, at least in the sense that it's a much bigger improvement than what took place in 2024. Because I can tell you personally, it was not a bed of roses. So, that said, let's go ahead and begin. We'll start by saying the first order of the day. You like what you see here? Thanks so much. I sincerely appreciate your attendance and your time and energy put into this. I'm trying to do the same, meeting you halfway. So if you like that, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from future postings. And also, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies and not those of the collective, feel free to reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below. Without further ado, we're going to start with you, Aquarius. Let's go ahead and see what 2025 has in store at its beginning. Oh, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, January 2025. Taking place for taking place in January 2025 for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What's happening for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for January 2025? Cannot believe it is 2025. I remember 2000, let alone 2025. Here we are, 25 years later. My goodness. Right. Let's go ahead and cut the deck. Aquarius, you got some stuck energy here. It's feeling a bit weird. It's a bit chaotic, but let's find out. So, current energy. What is the challenge? Taking place in recent past. Taking place in the near future. So Cancer just had the opposite of that. Clarify that. Is that the cool? Cancer also had that. So Aquarius, if you have Cancer in your chart, this definitely is the reading for you. It's known. What's up the crown? Interesting. What is the penultimate outcome for this reading? What up? This interesting. Clarify these two. Six of the edge. Six swords in the edge cups. Reverse. Now I've got a bedtime story coming out of this deck. So Temperance, Four of Swords in the reverse, Three of Wands in the reverse. Let's talk about this. So we're going to go and look into what's taking place within this spread. Well, firstly, look at what's underneath the deck. We have here the Sun in the reverse. So this could have been a situation of deep discontentment, things not being clear, but now slowly moving in away from the Moon into the Sun. Speaking of that, we have the Moonology deck here. Surrender to the divine. This is the full moon. Finally, things have come to a cumulative head, and you are now starting to look into, you know, the process from start to finish, and you are now wrapping that up and moving on. So I get almost like world card energy here, but at the emotional and at the intuitive level. So we have in the middle, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which represents the family. It can also represent um, receiving financial completion and happiness and moving forward. The challenge here, though, is the Seven of Pentacles. Reflecting on that and figuring out how to invest and what you have accumulated thus far. So again, with the Ten of Pentacles, perhaps you did come into a bit of financial, gain with this, prosperity, things of that nature, or you could have a family unit in which you are trying to um, you're trying to strengthen or bolster or focus on at the moment. However, you have the Seven of Pentacles showing that maybe we need to think about what we're going to do with this moving from here on out. In the recent past, you had the Page of Wands, and this usually talks about embarking on new adventures and trying your best to determine how you're going to boss up. We have the Emperor, clarifying the Page of Wands. Both of these are fire sign cards, and one is the very beginning of the court card deck. And then you move into the Emperor, which is the full manifestation of all of those male energies together. So it's almost like you're finding out where you're going to go, which direction you're going to take in order to go from, a novice, complete novice, to the absolute master of all things fire related. And typically with the Emperor, it's the manifestation of all. It's an amalgamation of all of the different kings in the court card deck. So with the King of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Cups, and King of Swords, all put together make the Emperor. So it is a full mastery of the male or masculine energies that emanate from you. Now, on a more superficial level, we say we're curious about how we're going to level up from here on out. So we're setting our sights, we're making plans, and then we're going to grab the stuff that we have here and then use that to illuminate our path forward, to go and communicate those passions and desires that we've got. So moving into the near future, though, we have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So it's taking decisive action, getting rid of all the options about how you're going to get out of this feeling of lack. Five of Pentacles doesn't always talk about financial loss. It can indicate this, but in many situations, it can talk about feeling left out in the cold. Perhaps you've gone through a period in which you wanted to get out of a situation where it was difficult for you to attain something. You may have struggled with financial lack, financial loss. You could have felt that, you didn't have any dating prospects. You could have felt that potentially that, you weren't getting the opportunities that you wanted out of work, or that you were just being excluded from a social group that, would have given you fulfillment at that particular time. What we are going into now, however, you're moving away, you're cutting out all of those options with the Seven of Cups in the reverse. And you are now moving into a period where you have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse as well. You're no longer allowing people to make you trigger, rather, you're no longer allowing people to trigger those feelings of abandonment within you, because you are now pushing forward with a better energy. What is that new energy? Nine of Swords in the reverse. And King of Wands. So you have two kings in the reverse. Nine of Swords in the reverse. It's talking about King of Pentacles and King of Wands in the reverse. So the things that were making you feel as if you were in a period of lack was that, number one, on the material level, and number two, at the passion level, not being able to master either one of those things, because the king is the male energy which masters a specific element that it wields. King of Wands is all about going for your passions, going for that drive, and doing your best to be an entrepreneurial spirit when it comes to the things that you want to achieve and the goals that you have set for yourself. King of Pentacles is about bringing them into the material world and manifesting that abundance on the material level, whether through finances or through accomplishments, achievements, and so on. So I see this almost as like bringing things down from heaven to earth and being a master of that. You're now getting out of your head about ways in which you can manifest these two suits. So that is you stepping into that emperor energy by first taking the earth and the fire, merging those two together, and then finding ways to command those in a better way, which will help you to realize the full potential of this emperor energy in the past. At the very core of the reading, though, we have the Empress in the reverse. Again, um, we had Aquarius, which is this reading. And then we also had Cancer, who also manifested the Empress reversed, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us about the Empress reversed. The Chariot. How do I get from point A to point B? How do I move this forward? The Chariot is all about trusting the divine to guide and and guarantee that we will move towards success. It talks also about letting go of control so that the two sphinxes, the black and white sphinxes, can move you forward, trusting that the universe is going to take you away from the familiar, which in the Rider-Waite-Smith represents the city behind. And then the emperor, who is in the chariot, is now moving forward so that they can go from a period of what they have accomplished in the past to a period of uncertainty in the future, leading to something new and prosperous down the road. So after the chariot comes the strength, and then the hermit, and then the wheel of fortune. So learning the fool's journey throughout all of this allows us to understand how the situation will manifest and materialize down the road. No pun intended with the chariot. But it says here, we have the Empress, which is 3, Chariot, which is 7, 8, 9, 10 is the wheel of fortune. You're basically waiting for this to manifest and to bring about the successes that you've been looking forward to. But in order to do that first, you have to first step into the energy of what you want to create. So it's no longer about, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I could go there, I wish I could do this, I wish I had this much money, so on. You need to take the reins of this chariot so that it can take you into the direction in which you want to go. It's no longer about wishful thinking. And I remember hearing I was listening to some podcasts, and they talk about hope strategies are very dangerous for people, because it's one thing to hope that something comes into place, and that hope is the spark of desire, the King of Wands, but it's bringing it into the material. You have to actually emanate those energies at the ethereal level. You have to say, I'm going to get the money that I need. I'm going to, do such and such. I'm going to achieve such and such goal first. Live that methodology, live that success, and then all of your actions will follow suit. So I had a conversation with with a mate of mine, good close friend of mine, and I told him that if you want to succeed in stuff, it can't be a wishy-washy approach to it. You have to become the energy first, and then that will attract in the thing that you have sought out to do. So if you want to, say, for example, lose weight, you have to get in the energy of healthiness and, you know, exercise and seeing yourself in the mirror as to what you want to be. And that in turn allows things to come into place, because you are the microcosm influencing the macrocosm, not always the other way around. The macrocosm can impel us to do certain things, but we as the microcosm influence the universe as well. So it's a mutual relationship. And that is the secret to manifesting things in your life. It is not about simply begging the universe to do something for you, or even so much to feel angry or bitter because things are not happening in your life. That is the wrong way, because what that does is that manifests a place and a period of negative, consequences based on the fact that if you have a negative mindset, you will have negative results. Um, for me, in my specific situation, I'm not per se an Aquarius. I do have Uranus in the first house based on whole signs charts. But what it tells us is that when I was going through my situation, which I'll talk about more, in a post, was basically broke as fuck, had nothing, wandering around the UK, doing, trying to survive the next day, and essentially going through a very, difficult time. It was until I gave that up and I said, okay, universe, take the reins. And I'll tell you more about this soon. Universe, take the reins. Allow me to get to the goal that I have set. I did that within a month's time. Everything it completely changed. I had a new flat, new job, new neighborhood, new money, everything. And to this day, there is nothing that could allow me to forget what I had gone through. And additionally, gratitude that I show the universe for allowing me to trust in it, have faith, and to move things forward. Of course, with my own actions and being strategic about where I was going, that came to pass. And it was years of doing the old method, trying your best to get a job, go, 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 keep applying, keep applying. I had to eventually say, okay, let go, make these last few applications. And I trust the universe, everything is going to work out. So I let go of what I was so obsessively holding on to, stepped into the energy needed to manifest that, and then it came in. And I didn't believe that it was going, well, I did believe it was going to happen, but it's when you see it take place, that's when things really show the magic that takes place in the process of manifestation. Now, what I see here, this is something that you're going to have to be mindful of, because in the outcome, what we have here is the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups in the reverse. These are two cards talking about not being able to walk away from something important. And again, you have those two energies manifesting as the output, which are diametrically opposed. One is the intellect, one is the emotions. The energies you need to bring in are fire and earth. So we have all the different elements here. Be careful how you manifest this. If you go back to old habits or if you have difficulty moving on into a new period, just remind yourself that it is important for you to walk away from the old way of doing things and to step into the new. Cultivate those habits that are essential to your development, and this will in turn help you bring about the manifestations key to your success and happiness down the road. And I say this also because clarifying the outcome, we have the Temperance moving to the Four of Swords in reverse, moving to the Three of Wands in reverse. It's like you want to be patient. You want to try to keep experimenting with things in order for you to find the best way to move forward. You have these two cups here pouring from heaven to earth. And that is indicative of what we have here, what I just spoke about with the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, mastering that masculine energy to bring your desires into the physical realm, wands to the pentacles. You bring the wand that is lit to the earth, and that's what set it ablaze. Then after your experimentation, you feel like you're going to lose your patience a bit. Maybe it's a bit, things that are going to take time to manifest. You lose your patience, which would almost indicate the temperance in the reverse. And then the Three of Wands. Sorry, it's going by. The Three of Wands in the reverse, which says that you're no longer waiting or your ships aren't coming in. Avoid this scenario and be patient with what's going to take place in your life. So that way you can go ahead, start from the beginning, and then move into that positive, healthy energy. And when we talk about this, we kept speaking on and on and on about surrender, surrender, the chariot, trust the universe, know your worth with the Empress in the reverse. I completely skipped over one part. Two of Swords and the Knight of Swords, both as the energies at the crown. This talks about no longer being at an impasse with what it is that you want to do, or no longer, oscillating between one way of thinking and another way of thinking, but being consistent. Go forward with it, and the Knight of Swords energy, that is what's going to help you bring about success. Push forward, make it happen. Be action orientated, not just in your thought processes, wondering how things could be if you were successful. Get it done. Surrender to the divine. If you do this, this is the secret and the key to your success in materializing what you want. And that's one thing that I want to stress. It is not so much, about being in the right place at the right time. Yes, that's a big part of it. But this comes about when you surrender to the universe. That's when things start to move in. In my personal situation, when I got to the point where I said, okay, Divine One, if this is meant to happen, let it come to pass. If it is not, I'll have my plan B ready. When you get into that non-attachment to the things that you want to manifest, that is when you have your greatest success. So I'm hoping that this will actually help you in your journey specifically, whichever Aquarians I'm speaking to. But it was a pleasure reading for you. Hopefully it's helped. Once again, this is Aluminum Tarot. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss any updates for future postings. And again, also, if you'd like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies and not the energies of the collective, feel free to reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and it's been a blessing to come back and do these readings for you. Until next time, love and light.